And you just tell me whether you want to start with disaster, UFO, asteroids, volcanoes, or shipwreck.
Okay, let's start with the disaster map. That's
the disaster map.
Yeah, let's start with that. And you know what? Let's just start where you and I let's start with why we really wanted this map. This is like why, to me, there's like a core reason, right? We wanted to go back to like the stuff that Randall talks about pre-Younger Dryas and see where the water levels were, because we wanted to see like what did Central America look like? What did Indonesia look like?
Well, that's how it started.
So that's how it started. So let's go there because it's
map episode, right? With that, we tried to do it back in November, and we were playing. I paid those guys $9, and we were playing with the sea levels. We were able to go down a little ways and see where some of these islands were, and then we were able to do some flooding and play around with that sort of stuff. But it was a pretty clunky and full of ads and old and just not the greatest. So it started by just trying to make a better version of that for ourselves.
Yeah. And so let's do that then. Let's start there, because this is way more interactive and way more fun to look through, right? With those sea levels, because you can go melt all the ice in the world and see where the sea level's at. You can do the Younger Dryas, like the ice age, minus 120 meters, modern, where we're at now, biblical flood, fully drained even.
Well, the other thing we should just mention quick here is that it's all built. We got the models here, papers and sources. So it's all built on physics where it can be, volcanology papers, sea level and population data sets, impact and nuclear physics, wildfire stuff, earthquakes and fault lines, tsunami and wave physics, computation and infrastructure. That's all here. And then we've got our theoretical models, which are pulled from like Volovsky, Ethical Skeptic, Ben Davidson, and Hapgood, and the key equations from those papers that sort of tell you, like here, for just example, like the pole shift, people think we're just making stuff up, which to an extent we are with the pole shift. That's definitely the most theoretical of the bunch, but it's got the equatorial bulge redistribution, angular displacement, whatever that equation is, from point to new equatorial belt determines flood fraction of H_max.
Well, the other thing is, let's say we're looking at an old asteroid impact or an old volcano. It's what shows on the map when you activate it is actually what happened. And then the future ones are what the scientists say are going to happen. Like they say that if an impact that's 100 meters wide hits a city, this is going to be the impact. And you've got that all built in.
Absolutely. So there's a little pricing table, and we got the frequently asked questions. So let's jump into the disaster map. So let's go satellite mode, because that's funner. Well, actually, I think you have to do that after you pick up things. So there's a world. What do you want to do first, Graham?
Well, I want to do the Younger Dryas. I want to do the Ice Age, like prior to the Younger Dryas.
Ice Age mode.
Yeah.
So here is the Ice Age mode at glacial maximum.
Oh, you got the glaciers on there too.
Yeah. So if we were going to do the Younger Dryas glacier, it was this one. So now the problem with this is we have to go actually, because this is after the Younger Dryas impact or whatever happened. So we got to go to this one, which would be just before. Doesn't quite have the corridor there. We could probably find one here where it has the corridor.
Yeah, that's okay though. I don't really care about the corridor as much as I just want to see the sea level before it rose 120 meters, like 400 feet basically.
So that's basically right here.
Right there?
No, sorry, that's right here. Minus 118 meters.